reminder, I need to turn mine off too. Please accept our apology for the lack of coffee and donuts this morning. Computer Club has been told that the way we've been making coffee in the past has to change. Now, we requested specifics as to where, when, and how we can do the coffee in the future, and we're waiting for those instructions. The new method may require that we adjust our meeting time to fit the coffee perk time. You know, it's not like your little Keurig at home where you're done in 30 seconds. It takes an hour plus to brew 100 cups of coffee. We'll announce in the future changes we will announce changes in the newsletter and with special announcements once the details are ironed out for coffee, which we expect to resume at the October meeting. Now, our agenda is the same month to month to month. That's nice, I don't have to change my slide every month. Circular Treasurer's Report. We have money. The key items here are the unallocated available funds at 18,900 plus. And we're starting to spend, we're upgrading, we have upgraded several printers and monitors in the lab to make things go quicker and easier. We have added, one of the popular items in the lab is a scanner that takes photographs and scans them and puts them on thumb drives. It's so popular that we had to go out and buy a second one. So that'll reduce the wait time to get to use that equipment. So we're spending the money to help the club members. The key number here is the 756 to Grafton. Now, to put that in perspective, and that's the money we collect with your free will donations for the coffee. Put that in perspective, we give Grafton $700. They go to the Northern Illinois Food Bank, and that turns into $5,500 in food that they can buy based on our $700 donation. They can buy $8 of food for every $1 we contribute. They are grateful for our support. I understand that 80% of the support they get, be it donations in cash or in food or other product, comes from Sun City, and we should all be proud for what we do to help them. Our membership keeps growing and then subsiding and then growing and subsiding. Well, the big number is total membership as of the end of last month, 1,437. Now we have folks that have renewed for 3 years, and some of them have just joined, so it's a 1-year membership when they first join. Computer Club Matters. We meet the second Thursday of the month. Time to be determined. Again, based upon what it's going to take to perk coffee once we figure out how and where we're going to do that. And we do expect coffee and donuts to be back next month. The lab is open on Monday and Thursday mornings from 9 to noon, and will be open after this meeting. The Apple Group meets on the first Tuesday of the month at 9 a.m., and the Photography Group meets on the first Wednesday at 7 p.m. Photography Group did a series of photos at the Railroad Museum this last month. They got some great stuff hanging on the walls in the lab. Just come in and take a look. Just come in to take a look at what they've done, and it's an amazing thing. And anyone that is a member of the club can join the Photography Group. Now, there is a restriction on the Apple Group. You have to have an Apple product to join the Apple Group. Next month, we've invited the folks from the Northwestern Wellness Center to come in and do their presentation that they did in June for the population, for the residents, the digital technology for the family caregiver. In November, we're doing our annual holiday gift list. And if you missed it, the iPhone 14 is coming out. The iOS 16 upgrade is supposed to launch on the 12th. So the iPhone class that's coming up next week will still be on the earlier version of the operating system. Speaking of classes, what we have coming up this week, we have 4 classes coming up the balance of the month. Cutting the Cord, which is a very, very popular class, is tomorrow morning. Next week, we start with iPhone Basics, and we end with Windows 11. And the end of the month, we have the Android class again. Community Matters, month of September, the Lifestyles and Fitness is an online survey. The survey link comes in weekly in the Tuesday e-blast. September 22nd, come see and laugh at your friends and neighbors with Sun City Has Talent. There's supposed to be comedians there, so that's why it is. The 28th is the Sun City Board meeting. October 3rd, there was scheduled a debate or a forum between our candidates for the now 11th district, and it has been canceled. Look for a story in My Sunday News of the future edition with the details. I know the writer. And our featured presentation gives me pleasure to introduce a board member, Mr. Bill Zaletti, to give you all the insights that YouTube is now more than just entertainment. Bill? Turn the phone off.
Should they just pop up? Yeah, there it is. I do need my glasses. Well, good morning, everyone. I did a lot of looking at YouTube in order to do this presentation. So I hope you enjoy the things that I found. I'm not witty and quick like David, so I apologize. I don't do jokes.
I know a writer.
What is YouTube? We're going to talk about YouTube in a couple of minutes. The common uses of YouTube. Let me see a show of hands of who uses YouTube on some regular basis. Okay, I can sit down now. Free YouTube, premium YouTube, YouTube TV. How many people knew that there's a YouTube TV? Okay. And then YouTube Education. How many have used the YouTube Education so far? 1, 2, okay. I have used that with my granddaughters. I have 3 granddaughters. One is 22, almost 23, and the other ones are 10 and 6. And it's amazing what's on YouTube for education for all those different age ranges. So if you haven't looked at that, take advantage of it. What is YouTube? YouTube is an American online video sharing and social media platform headquartered in San Bruno, California. It was launched on February the 14th, 2005. I think it's amazing. David, am I correct that the iPhone came out in 2007 for the first time, or even later? If you think about, of course this is 2022, but when you think about all of these technology things that we talk about in the computer club today, how really new they are. And when I looked at this and realized that it was launched in 2005 for the first time, and most of us didn't even touch it until probably 6 to 8 years ago for the things that we do with it, it's just an amazing platform. I didn't pick up the date, but it is currently owned by Google. You may or may not know that. But Google bought this platform so that they would be able to use this technology rather than developing their own. I don't know if you kept track of that, but Microsoft has done the same thing. Apple has not. To my knowledge, Apple develops everything from in-house. They've never bought an outside source that I know of. You think they have? But
Under the hood.
Under the hood, okay. But mostly, Microsoft has grown a lot of their products through acquiring other smaller vendors and then incorporating them in, and that's what Google has been doing over several years now. So some of the things that I've used YouTube for, believe it or not, I was over at my son's house several years ago, and he had to replace the toilet in his house, and I said, I haven't replaced the toilet in so long, I've forgotten how. So we pulled up a YouTube article, and sure enough, it showed us step by step how to replace that toilet. How to repair a refrigerator filter. If you have to replace your filter on your refrigerator, it'll show you how to do that. Last fall, I bought a new car. I sat down with the owner's manual, and I started to read the owner's manual, and I went, oops, I don't understand this. Obviously, it is a Toyota, so I'll confess. It was probably written in Japanese initially and converted to English. And in those conversions, they don't always make it simple for you to get through those owner's manual. And I said, it's got to be a faster way. So I went to YouTube, and I found an hour and 20-minute article. So I sat there and watched the entire article. When I was finished, I said, what did I learn at the beginning of it? So I took my phone out. I opened it up again, and I went and sat in the car, and when I was watching the article, I would stop it, and then I would practice how to use it, and then start it, and so on and so forth. So I found that to be extremely helpful, and it was actually done by a Toyota dealer in the United States, and he was going through every feature of the car, which I thought was very useful. Another thing is how to cook on your outdoor grill. Now, who would have thought that most of us don't know how to cook on an outdoor grill? But sometimes, if you're trying to cook something unique and that you've never done before, or you've only done it once or twice in your life, and you say, and I'll give you an example, shish kebabs. I love shish kebabs, but I have forgotten how to do a shish kebab on the grill. So the other day, I went out and I said, how do you cook a shish kebab on the grill? And of course, it was a 20-minute article on it. So, but I thought that was pretty interesting. My wife is still trying to figure out the right sauce. Interesting statistic. There are more than 800 million, let me repeat that, 800 million how-to articles on YouTube. If you get through all those, let me know. The point is, almost anything that you want to do on YouTube is available for you to do. All you have to do is say, how to, and then just type in what you want to do with the how to. So advantages of YouTube. It's free. It gives you the opportunity to earn money through your videos. Susie asked me earlier, can you post something on there and use it? Yes. If you want to share something with somebody, you can post it on YouTube and then share the link with them. It's easy to use. It's an easy way to share information. Uploading, watching videos, listening to music. 80 million songs are on YouTube. 80 million. And of every genre you want to try. I would defy you to find something and to think of something and not find it on there. And I think that's absolutely amazing. One of my favorite things on YouTube is not related to music is Bob Hope and not Fred Astaire. I forget who it is now off the top of my head. Is dancing on a table, and it's like an 8-minute video, and you've never seen that one. James Cagney. I didn't know James Cagney could tap dance. That was news to me. And if you've never seen that video, I would suggest you go home and pull it up and look at it. It's absolutely hilarious, and the video in it is great, and it was probably done in the 30s, so because it's in black and white. But I just enjoy those kind of old things. Last weekend, my son came over, and he was, I don't know how he got interested in this, but he wanted to see the debate between Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter in the 1970 elections. Hour and 20 minutes. And it was a full debate, one of their debates on there. It's just amazing the things you can find on YouTube when you look for them. I've already talked about the how-to, the easy access from your computer. How many of you use YouTube on your mobile device? Okay, so you know you can do that. That's probably the preferable way to do it. Does everybody that raised their hand have the YouTube app on your device? Or do you just go out to the internet on your device? Okay, if you don't have the app, I suggest that you download the app because it makes it easier to just click on the app and then you just put the little search engine and boom, you're off and running. It's video, music, comedy sketch. I talked about the comedy sketch and video animation. Abbott and Costello is another one of my favorites. I love comedy. And they have like 6 or 7 different routines I've watched on there just recently. Advantages of YouTube. Everything is public, or disadvantages, I'm sorry. Everything is public. There are many rules. Your account can be disabled without any reason. I doubt that anybody in here is going to do something that offends YouTube, but you've probably heard in the news that people have been removed from YouTube. Any advertiser can put an ad on your video. So if you do post a video and it's longer, I think it's 8 minutes, but don't hold me to that. But there is a point in time that if the video that you post is longer than a certain time, and I believe it's 8 minutes, not 8, not anymore. Okay, that's changed. Hours now. But they used to, right in the middle of your video, they would stop it, they would have an ad, and then it restart it again.
They're all, you have the option with the ads or not. You're just doing it yourself, you don't need to have an ad.
Right. But I'm saying there are long videos out there that have ads. They'll stop the video and have the ads unless, and we'll get to that in a second. Everything is public social media platform, open site to everyone. Anyone can post a video. Potential copyright issues, that's something if you do post something on a video, particularly if you're going to incorporate any music with it, you make sure to have permission to do that. And of course, potential issues with privacy. YouTube can do anything on your channel, what you can post and how the channel works. And then breaches of rules, this is a reason that they can cancel the account. Premium YouTube. Anybody here have premium YouTube? One of the advantages of premium YouTube is if you travel and you're on an airplane and you want to watch a specific movie that maybe the airlines is not running on that particular flight, if you have the premium YouTube feature, you can download that into your tablet and then watch that. And you can download several, not just one, but several videos that you want to watch. Watch offline, of course. If you put them on your tablet, you can do that. Subscription to YouTube Music Premium is included, and watch YouTube Originals. YouTube Premium cost is $11.99 a month. I'm looking around the room because one of my friends was going to be here today and talk about that. Say that?
No ads.
I said no ads, didn't I?
No, not under you.
Yeah. I said watch videos without advertisements the first
Not
time.
any.
On anything, right? Anybody here have YouTube TV? 1, 2, okay. I actually was surprised when I researched this, and I'll show you something about it in a minute. It costs $64.99. Now, I don't teach and I don't talk about how to cut the cord. I have looked at cutting the cord a few times, and honestly, every time I try to research it, I want the high-speed internet. So I have the triple play with Comcast, and when I try to cut the cord and just have the internet, it ended up costing me a lot of money. And then when I want to put the other features on it and other things that I do, I end up saving maybe $40. But then my wife will cost me a lot more money because how do you use that remote? How do you use that remote? So for me, I haven't cut the cord. I do have an Apple TV, David. And I love the Apple TV, and that's only because it was given to me by my son. So YouTube TV costs $64.99 a month, and I was surprised. There's 85 channels, and I'll go through those in a minute. There's no annual contract. So one of the things, I think that's true with almost all of the streaming services, isn't it? That the contracts are month to month. So you can get in on a month-to-month basis and drop out and get into another if you want to try it. It includes NFL, NBA, and MLB networks. It includes PBS, BET, Comedy Central, unlimited cloud. This was something that I was asked this morning. Has unlimited cloud storage for your DVR. So that means you don't have to worry about running out of it if you want to chart or record multiple programs on a given week. 3 streams and 6 accounts per household. Now that's fairly unique. That's actually quite good. The local channels, I know you probably can't read all of that up there, but ABC, CBS, NBC, and the local Fox network and WTW, all of these are available on there, WTTW, I'm sorry, which is, I found this rather unique because the other ones, and Shelley, I know you teach the class, don't you, on cutting the cord? Tomorrow, yeah. Not all of these premium or services like this have all of these features on them. The news, I was surprised to find Fox News and BBC World News. Those are really hard to find on the premium channels. So I was surprised to see those, and of course they've got all the others on there. Sports, a very robust sports network. Lifestyle, there are 2 screens on lifestyle. So there's quite a bit of lifestyle information out there. Family network. And then there's a premium, there's more networks that you can get that are premium, but you end up paying for each one of them individually. On YouTube education, I talked about it earlier, financial education on YouTube. Has anybody looked at that financial information on YouTube? That's quite good. It talks a lot about investments. It talks about how to handle a lot of different things about your finances, but also things that you can share with your kids. Education show for toddlers. I don't know if any of you have toddlers for grandchildren. Information on YouTube how-to I talked about. And then education video for kids. Math, English, science, all kinds of videos are out there. My granddaughter called me, the older one, called me while she was almost finishing high school and wanted to know how to solve simultaneous equations in algebra. And I was a math major and I had forgotten how to do that. Raise your hand if you can solve a simultaneous equation in algebra. Okay, you can. You still can? Okay, well, I can do it now because I looked at YouTube. But it's just interesting the different things out there that are available on YouTube. I could cover many, many more subjects. I chose not to do that because I like the way David did his presentation last month and just open it up for questions and we can talk about different things on YouTube. So, questions, Susie?
If I want to save a YouTube video, perhaps something that I know I'm going to have to go back to, can I do that?
You want to save a video and be able to go back to it on YouTube?
Right, so that I don't have to go find it again.
Well, you would have to, YouTube will set a link, so you would have to find out after you post it, you have to find out what the link is. And then you would be able to go back to that. But if you posted it on YouTube, I assume you have the video on your computer to begin with, so. Ken's more familiar with that than I am.
There's a couple ways of doing that. You can bookmark the link on top, just like you would bookmark any website.
Sure.
And you can always go back to it that way. But underneath, if you have it full screen, you can't see it. I think you can scroll it up. But when you have YouTube in a smaller window, below that, I think it says save. You click on that and a window will pop up and you can make categories. Like I'm into ham radio, I make a ham radio category for some of my ham radio videos that I watch, and I can just add it and then you'll have little check boxes. So you can indicate which categories you want to save that video in. You can save it in multiple categories if you like.
Okay.
So it's really easy to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have the mic in the middle of the room, so if you have questions, feel free to walk up, ask a question, and if we can't answer, we'll be happy to make something up.
Go ahead. I can repeat the question if you ask it.
You can save the video to your library, whichever library you want. Foreign language, music, whatever. But the only downside with that is that video can be deleted at any time. You can download it, so that would be permanent, but what's the safety of doing that and privacy concerns? How much does Google take from you when you use YouTube?
How much does Google take from you when you use?
Information that they collect.
They collect whatever they want to collect. So,
Right,
I
I was
mean,
just wondering how you.
well, I said that earlier in the presentation, I talked about that earlier in the presentation, that there's nothing private on YouTube. There's nothing private when you post things out there. So yes, it is available to the public. And Google can track anything that they want to track when you put something out there.
Okay, I was thinking more of as a user, when you go to a certain video, because they,
If you're a user and you go out to YouTube and you're looking at an article, is that what you're saying?
right.
Are they tracking that information? Oh, sure they are, you know, because I've looked at things on, as an example, that one that I looked at for my car. I was on my computer looking at it, and when I went to my phone and went out there, immediately the first thing that popped up was the one on my phone. That says Google knew that I was looking at it on my computer, now they know I'm on my phone.
Those channels you mentioned about financial and education in there, how do you get to them?
Just type in financial education.
Okay,
Go to the search window and type in financial education, and it'll bring it all up to you.
thank you.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Two questions. How do you play music? Just tell YouTube play and name the song.
I do the music, I personally do the music with the video. So I just open the YouTube app up, whether it's on my computer or whether it's on my tablet. And I just put the song in that I want to listen to, and it just starts playing.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Big question. You said you can record unlimited amount of recordings on the DVR on YouTube. It's in the cloud.
Correct.
Does that come with a little box that YouTube provides you?
No,
What, you have to have your own TiVo box?
you have to have your own box to access it, yes. Or stream it, if you have a smart TV, you can stream it off of your smart TV.
But you can't record it.
It's recorded in the cloud, so you can access it anywhere you have it. Comcast, by the way, records everything they have in the cloud. So even though you have a box set in your house,
Yeah.
if I have Comcast and on my tablet, and if I'm away and I've recorded something at home, I can pull that recording up and look at it on my tablet. I'm not circling back to my house. I'm going to the cloud and finding it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You've been a great help to me in the past and now, so I'll give you a little suggestion for your own. Look up on YouTube, Yankee Doodle Dandy, Jim Cagney, and you'll see a lot of color dancing.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Thank you. Other questions?
Bill, are there cookies that are downloaded from YouTube to your computer or whatever you're looking at?
Cookies are downloaded from everything you do on your computer, yes. And that's how they track what you're doing.
Also, YouTube has a history. So if you go to the left and go down and go to history, everything you've watched is in the history. It keeps track of everything that you look at. So if you want to go back and look at something, you go to your history and it should be there.
Okay.
Your history?
Yes,
Can you get rid of your history?
yes.
I don't know how to get rid of it.
You can clear it.
Yeah, huh?
You can clear it.
You can clear history, yeah. I clear history when you ask about cookies. On both of my browsers that I use, Chrome and Edge, I actually have the settings that says when I close those, I clear all the history out. So I do close all those cookies out on mine. The advantage of doing that is that it's not tracking anymore. The disadvantage is every time you open up and want to go somewhere, it takes it, 1/100th of a second to find it. If the cookie's there, it goes even faster. So there are advantages to the cookies. And cookies are not harmful to your computer, by the way. Other questions? Okay, well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you for being on.